What up, guys? It's your boy Vic. We are back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about money. Money is so important, bro. We all know this, right? And I feel like in order for you to get money, you have to really sit down and understand what money is, right? Really just break it down into the most simplest steps, the most simplest processes on what money actually is. And from my perspective, money is just a representation and a store of value. That's what real money is. It's when I do something for you or I provide value for you and you give it to me and you find value in what I said and what I've given and what I've done for you, you give me a some money, a dollar, coins, whatever, that represents the value I gave to you. And that's why, you know, someone with more money can be deemed more valuable in a monetary sense because they have stored enough value to show that they have value, right? So all money is an exchange of value or is a tool for an exchange of value, right? So back in the day, cattle used to be money, salt, eggs, potatoes, farming, whatever, meat. That used to be exchange of value. You should exchange for one thing, you should trade, right? Now they have money. They created money to basically make exchange a lot easier, right? So if you had a certain amount of money, you can make that exchange for goods and services a lot easier, right? Instead of carrying around 6 cattle, you can now give this dollar or this coin that's worth a certain amount, right? And so at the end of the day, when it comes to the actual definition of what money actually is, it's just a tool to exchange value. I do something for you, you give me money. I provide value for you, you give me money, and that's how we transact in our common marketplace today. So that's what money is. Now, you might ask, okay, why do things get more and more expensive? Okay, so some basic terms is supply and demand. When there's less supply for something and then more demand for it, that thing becomes more valuable, which makes it more expensive. You have to spend more money on that thing. So if I got this moisturizer lotion for my face, right, to keep my face moisturized and keeps me looking young and sexy, if I have the last moisturizing bottle on the face of the planet and people want this moisturizing bottle, that thing becomes more expensive. Okay? Because maybe a million girls might want this moisturizer bottle, but there's only one left and I have it. I can then charge $1 million for this, and if it's worth somebody paying it, they'll pay it because it's the last one and there's a low demand. So there's a lot of demand and there's a little supply of what they want. When somebody's demanding for something, when a group of people are demanding for something and there's only a limited amount, then that one thing becomes very expensive. Like if you're in a desert and there's only one water bottle left and there's a million people and one person had to pay for that water bottle will now be worth $1 million. You see what I'm saying? Or however much the highest bidder will pay. So that's why things become more expensive. So same thing with the housing market, right? There's only so many houses on the market and there's a lot of people wanting to buy. So that's why housing is more expensive. Now, it does get a little bit more complicated than that. And that's when we go into our next basically topic, which is inflation. Okay? So this video is really just explaining what money is so you can have an idea of what, you know, how to navigate this world when it comes financially. And this is how I'm navigating it. Now, I'm not going to say I'm the most successful person at it, but I think I have the mindset that's going to take me to where I'm trying to go because I know where to find value because value attracts money. You have to be able to visualize what is valuable to other people, then you will attract more money. So the next topic is inflation. Okay. Oh, people talk about inflation. Like, what is inflation? This and that. Like, why things are expensive? Is it because of inflation? Well, part of it is. Okay. I'm going to try to explain this as simple as possible. The dollar, right? The money that we have, the paper dollar. Everything's digital now. I don't even have a dollar on me right now, like a physical dollar on me right now. If I did, that'd be great. But the actual paper dollar and the digital dollar, right? The dollars that you have in your bank account come from the bank. And I'm not talking about Chase Bank. I'm not talking about Bank of America. I'm talking about the banks that they answer to, which is called the Federal Reserve Bank. To keep it super simple, the Federal Reserve Bank is the bank that gives Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, the money they supply you, right? The Federal Reserve actually creates and prints the physical dollar that we see every day. They create that with a machine. And now, since everything's digital, they can now just type, oh, I'm going to send Bank of America $50 million, right? So what's that called is called printing, like money printing, right? Inflation is caused by money printing by the ultimate big bank, which is called the Federal Reserve, right? So just keeping it simple as possible. We have the Federal Reserve that creates the actual money that we use every day. They lend that money to the banks that we use every day. Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, even the small commercial banks, right? And those banks lend money to us. Now, the reason why you need to know about the Federal Reserve, because money is now fake. Because money was supposed to be a tool to exchange, right? So we can still use money today to exchange, goods and services, but because we have been printing money, it's no longer a store of value, right? So what inflation does is it decreases the value of your money. So 20 years ago, you could buy a Coca-Cola can for probably 50 cents or 25 cents or maybe $1, right? Today, you can buy a Coca-Cola can for $3, maybe $2.50. Back in the day, they'd have been looking at that like, what the fuck, $2.50 for a can of soda? Just like they're looking at houses like $500,000 for a house, right? You could probably look it up 30, 40 years ago. That wasn't the case, right? Houses were a lot cheaper, cars were a lot cheaper, and sodas were a lot cheaper, right? And the reason why things get more expensive is not because, well, there is partially more demand than the supply, but then there's also inflation, right? We have been printing money, I think, since either 70 or 30. I'm not sure what date, but we've been printing money since then. So back to the supply and demand. When there's more supply than there is demand, whatever the supply is becomes less valuable. So say you're in a desert again. Let's use the desert example. And you're in the desert with 10 men and there's 1,000,000 water bottles. Are you going to pay $1 million for one water bottle? No, because there's 1,000,000 of them and there's only 10 men. So we have more than enough. So that water bottle becomes more cheap. Now, let's replace the water bottle with dollars. Because we have left the gold standard, right? Because our money is no longer pegged to a real asset, we have injected billions and trillions of dollars. So the Federal Reserve has printed trillions of dollars in our markets, which is causing hyperinflation. So it's causing things to become more expensive because our dollars are becoming cheaper because there's so much available. The only thing that keeps something valuable is the scarcity aspect of it. If you have too much water bottles in the desert, it no longer becomes that valuable. If you have too much dollars in circulation, then those dollars become less valuable. Okay? So that's what's happening right now. Over the last couple of years, in 2008, when those banks were supposed to fail, our government decided to tell the Federal Reserve to print money to get to the banks, and then those banks gave us money. And now it saved our current economy, but now we're facing hyperinflation now in 2024. That's why things are more expensive. We can't afford shit, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Once you realize that, you realize that money is not really real. It's a fake. It's called fiat. Fiat is short for fake. Fake money. It's fiat money because it's no longer a store of value. It's no longer real money. It still represents real money. We still use the dollar for things every day, but it no longer can store value. Like nowadays, people say saving money is dumb because if you save money, eventually that money that you save is going to become worthless over time. $10,000 can't buy you what $10,000 bought you 20 years ago, right? So if you're saving $10,000 for the next 20 years, it's not going to get you any money. So you have to really understand that concept to really find out, how to navigate this world, because a lot of it it's worthless. Money is practically worthless because it doesn't store value anymore. We still use it for an exchange of value, but it's worthless, right? And that comes to the final topic, which is currency. What is currency? Currency is money, right? There's different currency. Money, there's money, and then there's different kinds of money, and we call those different kinds of money currency. There's so many different currencies, but the physical ones are like the yuan. The cryptos now are a currency. The Chinese dollar, the ruble from Russia, the franc from the French, Germany's money, all the pound. All these things are different kinds of currencies, different kinds of exchange of value. So the key is really in every form and every site is really trying to find out what's valuable. And this is why they're creating new money. And that leads me into cryptocurrency, right? And what that is doing. So if you look at every cryptocurrency, like it's called Bitcoin. Everything is named after a coin, like the XRP coin or the Ethereum coin or the Ethereum currency, right? And if you have one Bitcoin, right, they are modeling that currency based off of the attributes of gold and silver. This right here is pure 99% silver, right? And so the reason why silver and gold will always be a currency is because you can exchange it. You can, eventually, maybe one day again, because back in the day, they used to use gold and silver to exchange value. That was the real money, right? They used to use this right here to exchange money. And so, if I wanted some cattle from you, I would give you like 2 gold coins or something. Or if I wanted some bread from you, I'd give you like a silver coin. And so what you'll see is Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these cryptocurrencies are based off of, the idea is based off of like gold and silver. They created a digital currency. And the reason why it's based off of this is because gold and silver can't be printed, just like Bitcoin can't be duplicated. Right? You can't make another Bitcoin. There's only a finite amount. And that's what keeps Bitcoin valuable, right? There's only so much, and you're actually losing a certain amount of Bitcoin every year. Like they burn it or something like that. But the idea is they want to make a digital gold. Make money that cannot be printed by a Federal Reserve, by any kind of central bank, right? And if you can create that, well, you practically created a perfect currency, right? And so that's why people are investing in gold and silver, or not gold and silver. People are investing in gold and silver, but people are investing in cryptocurrency because they understand that this money can't be manipulated, right? Cryptocurrency cannot be manipulated. It's only a set amount. At least I don't even know the technology that well, but that's the idea behind it. It's like, okay, the governments can't print this. The governments can't take this. They can't manipulate this. It's perfect money. You can use it to buy stuff. People have bought stuff with Bitcoin, and It's a store of value. The only thing that makes something a store of value, well, it has a use case. The reason why silver is a store of value, because if you really wanted to, you can melt this down and somebody could use this for like construction, making a tool, a necklace. Same thing with gold. People use that in dentistry. They use gold in your phone. They use gold in technology. If you melt down gold, you can actually have some useful properties. Same thing with silver and gold. Same thing with silver. You melt it down. So now, what I do want to point out, there's a little bit of flaw in this, but actually, I'll keep that for another video. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin has scarcity qualities. It's scarce. It's only a certain amount. Bitcoin can be exchanged, so you can send money to one person's wallet to another person's wallet. The only thing Bitcoin is missing is an exchange of value, or an actual use case, right? And so other cryptocurrencies have use cases better than Bitcoin, but because people believe in Bitcoin, it was the first one. It's got its rank. It's like being the first iPhone or some shit. It's got its, it's hard to explain that. That's a whole nother conversation. But that's what cryptocurrency is at the end of the day, right? They're called coins because they're trying to model a gold coin or a silver coin, right? There's a finite amount of silver. You can't recreate silver. You can't fake it. Same thing with gold. There's a finite amount of it, right? It has value and you can exchange it between other people. That's the core values of money. That's what makes money money, is the ability to exchange it. It has a store amount of value. It stores your value. That means it can't be duplicated, right? And it has a use case. That's the only thing Bitcoin doesn't really have. But that's a whole other video. Silver and gold definitely have use cases. Definitely can't be printed or manipulated. And so as we move forward, guys, you have to really think about money and what it actually is. If you want more of it, you have to know what it is to a certain extent. And we understand that, you got to understand a value proposition. What is the value of what you're doing every day and why is it helping people, right? Because people will pay where there's value. If you can figure out value, you can figure out how to get rich. Find the value in things and then be able to communicate that value. Because a lot of people have a lot of value, but they can't communicate it, right? If you can't communicate value, then you can't win, right? If somebody knows how to cure cancer but doesn't know how to explain it or doesn't know how to really show it to other people, it's not gonna work. So you got to know how to explain that value, right? And so communication is key, marketing and all this other stuff. But I just wanted to break down the concept of money. I know I want to be rich. I know I want to be wealthy one day. I know you guys, if you're watching this channel, most likely you're going to be wanting to do that too. So it's good to understand what money is. I know this is a longer video than usual, but I think it's value packed. And I think you guys can learn something from it. You got to understand the thing that you're seeking, okay? This is why hourly wages, it's not the best way to make it, but you can do it. You can make money and you can still do well doing hourly wages, but just understand that the value of money is depreciating over time. And the more time you spend, it's a lot to it. But that's the basics of money, what it is, how it's created, and the future of it, right? I think cryptocurrency is definitely the future. Gold and silver is the physical future of money. And so you need to get yourself some. Guys, hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think about this video, what y'all think, money is, and what your opinion on this video. I used to work for a gold and silver company, so I know, and they talked a lot about financials. They talked a lot about the economy and what's going on, and I learned a lot from them. So, if you guys have any questions, just hit me in the comments. All right, this is a little longer video. I'll catch you on the next one. Subscribe, notifications, all that good stuff. Peace.